ChatGPT, giant, super powerful AI, tiny little microcontroller. How can I bring this down to here? Is it even possible? Well, I'm working on a project right now and I want to give you a sneak peek of what I'm doing. Okay, here's the deal. I've got an ESP32 here. It is a Wi-Fi enabled microcontroller, a development board that I can program with the Arduino IDE. So I can connect to the internet with this microcontroller development board. And these are like, I don't know, hardly even 10 bucks. So here's the plan. I take a keyboard, like just an old school keyboard. I connect it to my ESP32 so that when I type, this records what the key presses are. And then it displays what I type in on a little OLED display. Then when I press enter, my input gets turned into a string and sent up to the cloud via the internet. Because again, these are Wi-Fi connected. Then I send that input up to the OpenAI API. Its super powerful AI does its thing, generates a response and sends it back to my board, and I display that response on the OLED. So nothing's connected to a computer here. All the work is being done with the microcontroller over Wi-Fi. So let me show you what I got. So here is the old school keyboard. This is like, some IBM old school keyboard. It's a PS2 keyboard. That's important because I had to use the PS2 library. And whoever had this, man, they were a smoker. There's like all types of burn marks over the, anyway, okay. So then I've got this and I've got it connected to a USB cable adapter. All right, and it's connected to a breadboard. And then this right here is my ESP32. And I've got let's see, I can get, there's the battery right there. And then here's the OLED. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type on this keyboard. You can see it's just being powered right now with the battery. So it's not connected to the computer. It is connected to Wi-Fi though. All right, so I'll say, what is Arduino? And now it's making the call and then you can see it responds just like that. I could ask it something like, I don't know, what is an apple? Now, still working again on getting the text to display appropriately, so that's a work in progress, but okay, well, I gotta say, I think this is pretty fun. So I'm just gonna talk real quick through this whole process one more time. So the first step is you go to OpenAI and you sign up for a developer account. They did give developer accounts to anybody. They gave one to me, so they'll probably let you have one too. It doesn't cost anything. And then you get a key that you use to authenticate with the ChatGPT API, or actually I should say with the OpenAI API. And API stands for Application Programming Interface. An API is what allows different software online to allow third parties to like access their data and their information and their tools, right? So OpenAI has all these different models, like they've got ChatGPT, they've got these text completion models, they've got all these different, like they've got image classifier models, all this stuff. Anyway, and this project right now is using a text completion model. And so each one of those different models has a different API that you can go to and call and get responses from. So that's really all you need to do on the OpenAI side. And then roughly what I did in this project, and I can kind of talk you through the libraries a little bit just to show you what I'm doing here. So I'm using the Wi-Fi library in the HTTP client and Wi-Fi client secure libraries for the ESP32. So that's allowing me to connect to the internet securely. And that's also allowing me to make an HTTPS request up to the API. So those were the libraries I used for that. Then I used Arduino JSON library. So the response you get back from the web is going to be in a JSON format, and the Arduino JSON library makes it easy to get that data out, to parse out that data. And the JSON library is pretty cool. Programming Electronics Academy is actually a sponsor. So then once you have the data, then you kind of want to display it on the screen. And then I'm using the Universal 8-bit graphics library version 2 for working on the OLED. It works for monochromatic OLED LEDs, basically like one color LEDs. And then finally, in order to get the keyboard input, I am using the PS2 Key Advanced library that reads the input codes from a PS2 keyboard. As you can imagine, there's a ton of details in this. If this sounds foreign to you or something like, man, what is going on? I assure you, it's not as complicated as it looks. If you're interested in learning about this Arduino stuff, the next video you should watch is this one right here. It's the Arduino in 90 minutes video. It's going to introduce you to all of this cool Arduino stuff, this whole ecosystem where just regular people can start tinkering with cool electronic stuff. It's this video right here. It's fantastic for getting you up and running with Arduino.